Hello, everyone, and welcome back to the Sports Shift. I'm Ria Troilo, joined here by the lovely Brylin Adams. And Brylin, the NHL is back.
You are right. The NHL opening night was opened up last night with a doubleheader and the introduction of the 32nd NHL team, which was the Seattle Kraken. ESPN is now back airing all NHL games since 2004. Ria, I saw this post, and it said that in 2004, the number one song was Burn by Usher. The Prisoner of Azkaban Harry Potter movie was number one movie, and that was also the last time the Tampa Bay Lightning won the Stanley Cup, so how ironic.
Well, hopefully luck doesn't play out for them this year, because I don't know if there's any Tampa Bay Lightning fans out there, but I don't know if we want to see a thrice for them. But hopefully another team will have their shot this year. But Justin Bieber actually narrated the opening montage last night for the ESPN introduction. And I have to say, I listened to it, and it did not sound like him at all. But I don't know, is it because why Justin Bieber? Is it because he's a hockey guru? I mean, I know he's a huge fan of the Toronto Maple Leafs, but I don't know.
That might be it. One thing I want to talk about is that opener. That opener was crazy. The whole graphic on the ice of the Kraken in the night. Like, I was shocked. I mean, I shouldn't even be shocked anymore because it's Vegas and, they put on a show all the time. So I shouldn't even be, think twice about it. But
definitely, if you haven't checked that out, it was before the Seattle Kraken and the Golden Knights game, and it was a visual of a Golden Knight being like overtaken by a Seattle Kraken, and it was pretty cool, so go check it out. But in other news, speaking about female power in the sports industry, Gway will become the first ever woman to referee in the American Hockey League this Saturday for the Lehigh Valley Phantoms season opener in Hershey, Pennsylvania. She is among 10 female referees who are set to join the AHL slate for the 2021-22 season. And Brylin, I have to say, watching the preseason games for the Flyers, I was actually thinking to myself, wow, when is there going to be a female referee on the ice? And then you hear this news.
I mean, it has to be soon if, they're doing that for the AHL. I mean, it's got to be soon.
It's coming up.
There's female athletes, female referees in the NFL, so why not the NHL, right?
Yep, NHL's up next. So
speaking of female referees in the NFL, Las Vegas Raiders head coach John Gruden resigns after a few leaked emails. The NFL recently began reviewing possible discipline for Gruden after finding a racist comment in an email from 2011 regarding DeMaurice Smith. This specific email was discovered while going through a 650,000 email investigation relating to the Washington football team's workplace culture. It's also been shown that Gruden sent homophobic and misogynistic comments while working for ESPN as a color analyst from 2009 to 2017. The assistant coach, Rich Bisaccia, will fill in for Gruden temporarily. I have to say, Ria, when I was watching him on Hard Knocks a couple years ago, I know that I would not like him as my coach. He says what he wants, and that's what goes. And, this kind of just put the icing on the cake for me.
Yeah, boy, is that a lot to take in. But definitely the head coach position, you have to be a likable person. You have to be someone who's willing to build authentic relationships and work with your players and, have that, kind of sense of friendship. And you just have to be accommodating. Yeah. If you want respect, you have to give respect.
I agree with that.
But speaking of respect, the president of baseball operations, Dave Dombrowski for the Philadelphia Phillies, is prepared to work hard, maybe just as hard as Chuck Fletcher this past offseason. He's willing to create a more aggressive lineup, mainly to acquire a middle-of-lineup hitter to protect Bryce Harper. Aside from making changes on the roster, he's looking to change the coaching staff a little bit. I know they just hired Kevin Long, who is the most recent hitting coach of the NL East rival Washington Nationals. So he's set to join the Phillies and kind of turn over that coaching staff just a little bit, and we'll see what other tweaks they have for this offseason.
Yeah, I'm sure. Well, hopefully they have some tweaks going on. You know, they didn't really finish out the season too hot.
Some people to help Bryce Harper out a little bit, you know.
But some good news, the Eagles have finally snapped their 3-game losing streak over the Panthers on Sunday. Jalen Hurts acquired his first career fourth-quarter comeback win in a game-winning drive. The Eagles are still dealing with some injuries, and Dallas Goedert will be out Thursday night after being placed on the COVID list. You know, one thing I saw, Sirianni said that the execution was unbelievable, but then Hurts said, you know, they didn't play to their standard, and it was just enough to win the game. So I don't really know who's, you know, telling the truth, but you know, they take on Tom Brady Thursday night, Buccaneers tomorrow night at home. And what are your thoughts about that?
They definitely have to get that unison between the defense and the O-line in check if they want to beat Tom Brady on Thursday night and, you know, get their wins up, get a winning streak going to make up for that losing streak. But we'll see what happens Thursday night when the Buccaneers come to town, so at Lincoln Financial Field.
I will say the D-line showed up and showed out. But, you know, on the offensive side, they still have some work to do. But I'm not too optimistic about Tom Brady coming to town, so we'll see.
Yeah, we'll definitely see what happens. But Thursday night will be telling, but also this week will be telling for the Philadelphia Flyers as they made final cuts to improve their opening night roster. Right after we were talking about Morgan Frost last week, he was sent down just an hour or two later to the Lehigh Valley Phantoms, and now the game day roster was announced on Monday, and it only consists of 21 players, including the newly claimed former Vegas Golden Knights forward Patrick Brown. Now, Brown only has 3 points in 33 NHL games that he's ever played with former teams in Carolina and Vegas. So we'll see how he fits his way into the mix this season and how he contributes. I know Alain Vigneault, Flyers head coach, is optimistic about his presence in the lineup, and he said he's a great team player, he's a great energy in the locker room, and he's consistent and has that drive and that kind of edge that we definitely need, that physical presence for the Flyers this season.
Yeah.
But opening night is finally here, and Friday it will be against the Vancouver Canucks to kick off a 4-game series at home. So
I have to say that I think Brown is a great addition because I just think Vegas is such a great team, and they have a great team culture, and you know, he not grew up with it, but like he's played there and he kind of knows. I don't know, Vegas is great, I think. So, I mean, I think it'll be a positive, you know, addition to the team.
Yeah, and he's been around the league for a while. He was with a great team prior, so he could definitely bring that knowledge and that experience to the team and be another leader like the veteran leaders they acquired this season. So we shall see. And aside from that, the preseason continues on for the 76ers as they travel to Detroit to take on the Pistons tonight at 7 o'clock p.m. Now, their season opener is October 22nd, and guess who's back?
Who's back in town, Ria?
Not shady for sure, it's Ben Simmons. He has officially arrived back in Philadelphia. He is now set to begin practicing with the Sixers. He could begin practicing with them towards the end of the week. He has undertaken COVID-19 testing precautions. He has not practiced yet, but he has had meetings with Doc Rivers and the rest of the coaching staff. And Doc Rivers is pleasantly surprised. He is optimistic about Simmons ending his holdout and returning for the season home opener. So I guess that means he will be playing maybe come opening night. And I know Joel Embiid, he kind of 360'd again. He is happy to have Ben Simmons back. He says they're a better team with Simmons. So
I just don't know how he's going to recover from this. Like, the city of Philadelphia already dislikes you so much. Like, I really don't understand, like, how he's going to, like, I mean, obviously, I'm expecting the worst. He's going to get booed. Like, I can't even imagine the stuff that they're going to say to him. Why show up now? Why show up this late? Like, why not just come back earlier or just not at all? I feel like he came back way too late.
Yeah. He held out for the candy that he wanted, but he didn't get it in the end, and he had to give up. But I agree. I think he definitely has to come and show out and bring his best game, even though Philly is definitely going to be hard on him. But you just have to make up for what you.
Let's
what
hope
you
he
did,
makes up something, because he's got a lot of catching up to do.
Yeah.
But on the flip side, our Neumann athletes killed it this past weekend with a complete conference shutout in women and men's soccer and volleyball. The men's soccer team continued that sweep last night against Centenary 6-0. And what a way to welcome them into the conference. Yikes, that was not very friendly. But it's conference play. You can't mess around.
It's intense.
They have outscored conference opponents 11-0 in the last 2 games and sit 2-0 in conference play. Tell us about the women's soccer team.
Yes, you go. And on the flip side, we wish the best of luck to the women's soccer team, who heads out to Centenary University today for another conference match at 3 p.m. And conference play continues as field hockey and volleyball take on our rival Cabrini tonight. They are both at home, so when you are finished watching the field hockey game, maybe you want to make your way over to the Miranda Center for the volleyball match at 7. And our men's and women's soccer team will also be taking on Cabrini this weekend. So best of luck and play hard, get some wins from Cabrini, because we need them and we're trying to make playoffs over here. But we hope you all enjoy the homecoming festivities that begin tomorrow. I know, what do we got going on? I know there's a music festival on the front lawn.
There's a music festival. There'll
on
be
Saturday.
Food trucks going around. I know there's a home run derby on Saturday. It should be very fun, very fun.
Yes.
But make sure to tune into PJ's Country Radio Hour tomorrow at 5, and then stick around for Alex Costell's Take It Easy Sports Mafia at 8 on 98.5 WNUW, or listen through our app. Stay safe, everyone, and have a great rest of your week. We will see you next Wednesday.